Hi, I'm Rebecca. Welcome to my sewing room. This is Sew Be It. This week I'm making a new pattern that I've never made, but I have had it for quite a while. I think I got it at like a 99-cent sale at Hobby Lobby, most likely. And I went, ooh, I like that. So I got it. And then when I purchased all of my fabrics, I got a fabric for a pattern and it turned out to be the wrong kind of fabric. It's just way too heavy. So I'm using it for the pattern this week, which happens to be a Vogue pattern. I think this is the first Vogue pattern I've had on my page because I've done one other and it was really hard. So hopefully I know enough now to get it done. It's Vogue V2044. I am making the short version with the long sleeve. I do really love that little keyhole and the bow design, so I'm pretty excited about it. The sleeve does have an elbow dart, and I've done that on a jacket, so it'll be nice to see what it looks like on an actual dress sleeve. This dress is lined, so that's another step. I very rarely do lined dresses because I don't really love them, but I think this will still be nice, and it'll be a good Sunday going to church dress. So that's my plan. I do have to make a mock-up, so you will see some fitting, and that actually might be all we get to this week. This is a short week. I just got my machine back for its regular maintenance and some adjustments that it ended up needing because I used it so much. So we might just get to the fitting this week, but we'll see how far we get. The fabrics I have, the lining fabric is this really nice black charmeuse satin is what it's called. It's really, really soft. I'm actually pretty excited. It called for a charmeuse or a China silk for the lining, and they had charmeuse at the store that I go to. So the fabric for the dress is some kind of like a knit jersey, but it's a heavy weight, and it doesn't have much stretch, but there is a little bit of stretch in it. This does call for a crepe, a silk jacquard, a wool crepe, or a wool flannel. That's not what this is, but it is pretty close. There's very little stretch, and I know there would be possibly a little bit of stretch in the flannel, even though it was supposed to be wool. All I'd be able to get my hands on is some cotton. Either way, this is a heavy weight. I do think it was called a jersey though. It is knit just based on looking at the threads. It is a knit. This is the wrong side here. But I really liked the look of the plaid. And so I thought this would make a nice dress. Which was originally my plan, except it was going to be like an Afghan dress, and that needs it to be a lot lighter weight for it to look the way that it's supposed to. And this is actually quite heavy. So I should have, I think, just over enough for the short dress with the long sleeve. I really wish I could remember what kind of fabric this was, but I cannot. So for my muslin, for my mock-up, I am not using... I'm not making the skirt, so I'm not using the waistband because the waistband attaches to the skirt. So I can adjust the waistband and the skirt based on just the bodice if I have to take it out any. I'm nervous about this because I feel like I will have to take it out because it is a Vogue pattern. They do seem to be made a little bit smaller. I did not cut out the sleeves for the mock-up. I actually just used the tissue pattern that I traced, because I do trace all of my patterns. I used the tissue pattern and wrapped it around my arm, and I am going to have to increase that sleeve. I do like to make sure that I have enough movement, so I will be increasing the sleeve. I already know by an inch. That should be more than enough space to comfortably wear it, and hopefully, since it's already, it is a set-in sleeve, and it is supposed to be fitted, so it will probably be a lift your arms up to here sort of dress. But I want to make sure it's comfortable and I have enough space. So that is the plan on that, is to just open it up and widen it an inch. But I'll show you how to do that. All of these fitting changes are my plan to show you how to do, and hope that I get it right. So this does feature princess seams on the bodice and technically on the skirt. Usually princess seams are all one piece, like the dress I have on now. This one is not, because it does have a waist, and it has a waist band and details at the waist, as you saw with the bows. So I'll be putting this together the same as we would a princess seam. There is a front band, or like a front kind of lapel, but it just elongates a little bit. I will be having that in my mock-up, because I need to make sure that I get all of the space covered that would actually be covered, and those stitched together in the center front. So I want to make sure I have the extra like inch or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and stitch the mock-up together, which is back there on the table. You can see the bodice pieces, and then the strip right there is the front band, and it does make that little keyhole and all of that. So once I get all of that stitched together, and if I remember right, I will do the seams on the outside so that it's easy to change for fitting. And I think I may insert my zipper, or a zipper, just to make it easier to fit. Since I still like to put it obviously on the correct way, or yeah, I don't want the opening in the front. I do want it in the back, because I'm still not that skilled at that part. So, all right, I'll be back. Okay, so this is the mock-up that I'm doing. Mine must just have bigger arms, because the sleeve does still need to be enlarged. And as I normally do, I am going to take this in 3/4 of an inch on the shoulder, just for that petite adjustment. But this pattern comes in different cup sizes, and so I did cup size D, which is what I need, and it fits. It's not tight, which is perfect. I don't want it to be. I could probably take it in a little bit. Yeah, I think I will end up taking it in a bit in the back. I am going to take it in a little bit in this seam, but I think only up to about a 1/2 inch. And starting at the curve. I wish I could pin it good. It's just a little bit too big right there, I think. But you know what though? Because once it gets up into the sleeve, that will change the sleeve head, and it'll make this tighter. So actually, I don't think I'm going to take that in at all, other than the 3/4 of an inch at the top of the shoulder, because I want that movement. And that extra space is what's going to give me that movement, and it's obviously going to be a little bit smaller once I get the sleeve attached to it. So I'm going to keep that. I could do the same thing here, but I want that space to move. So I will show you, you've already seen me do the 3/4 inch adjustment on the sleeves. which is just taking it in and then smoothing that line out. I will show you how I'm going to adjust my actual sleeve. So once I am back dressed, I will be back to show you. So the first step to altering my sleeve is to cut it down the middle. I'm going to make sure that this is straight up and down. So I'm using my ruler here to start. And now I can extend it up. I'm also going to draw a straight line across here so that I can make sure it's even. And now I need to cut straight up this way. Now I need a long, thin strip of paper. This should do. It's just a scrap that I have left over. I want an approximate spot of where to draw this line on this paper. This will help me keep it all even. And now I'm going to put this piece on first. And I'm going to line up these lines here. And now I can tape it all. And now I wanted to widen it an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and mark an inch. That's my guideline to tape the other half of the sleeve onto that. And again, we want to line this up and we want to line this up now. I have multiple lines to line up. So I will cut this out. This does adjust my dots though, and I have to figure out what I am going to do with those real quick, and I will be back to explain it to you once I figure it out. Okay, so I double checked. There is ease between these dots. I just didn't put it on the pattern. So I am going to slide this dot over a ½ inch to make up for the inch that I added, so that this can all be added in, and then hopefully that will make the sleeve cap even. put an X there. So that'll be my new sleeve. I did go ahead and trim 3/4 of an inch off of both of my shoulders. Next step is to go ahead and I do have to iron my lining fabric because I haven't done that since I got it out of the dryer. But then I need to cut everything out. Fabric and lining of all of my bodice pieces, my sleeve, right, that's line, yes, my sleeve, my waistband, my pockets are also done in a lining. I'm not sure how it is, but there's that. Skirt pieces, waistband, and then no lining for the bows, no lining for the neck binding, but those do have interfacing. I think the waistline, the waistband also has interfacing and no lining. So I will be back to show you how, or kind of explain how to put it together. Again, not a step-by-step because this is not my own pattern. So hopefully, maybe, we will get the entire dress in our final video. So I'll be back. So that's all I have time for this week. Come back next week to see me actually assemble this dress. If you like this video, hit that like button for me. If you want to make sure you see all of my videos, hit that subscribe button so I'll be in your subscribers channel. And if you want to be notified every single time I post, hit that notification bell and YouTube will notify you every single time I post. Thank you for watching Rebecca's Sewing Room. This was So Be It.